No florals, no problem. If you have 8 minutes, I have the answers to publication-worthy flatlays. I hope you'll join me.
Welcome back. All right, if you have been following along, you know I like to start with my ribbon and the I loves a diagonal line. And again, if you're left-handed, you're probably going to want to go the opposite way. If you're right-handed, follow along with me. And again, we're going to move this a little bit, but it's just easiest to start this way. And this invitation we are going to do with no florals, because so many times you go to your wedding and you've got no florals. You guys tell me this all the time. So with the right props, there's no reason that you can't have a publication worthy flat lay. You just need to have a little bit of practice. I have a dreamy invitation suite from my girl Shay. So fun, citrus. We're going to use our acrylic styling blocks. You always want to make sure that your elements are lifted up off the page. It's super important. The I loves dimension, even though this is a flat lay, you don't want your items laying completely flat. I'm going to use this size block because we're going to layer. So I'm going to put this here. I'm probably going to end up flattening out the ribbon. And I'm mimicking this diagonal line with my envelope. And I'm going to lay my invitation suite here and I'm going to square it off. And I'm feeling where the block ends because I want to make sure that when I layer my next block down, that my invitation suite and my other piece of paper have something to be layered on. Now this suite is really fun. It has a little bit more pieces of paper than what we normally style, but it's going to be so fun. Now, I'm probably going to move this up a little bit more since I have 3 pieces of paper. Fun yellow, little pop for spring. I'm going to put this down here. Now, this bigger block is going to go here. This piece of paper is the star of the show. Now, I want to make sure that this little dead spot is going to be covered. All right. Now looking at this, and I'm looking at my screen, I'm probably going to need to slide my bottom block, and I'm doing that so that this has enough to rest on. Okay, perfect. Moving that down. I want to make sure that that wax seal is peeking through. Now I have 2 styling dishes that I'm going to use in this flat lay. And I'm going to do one with some wax seals, and that's going to be over here. And then I'm going to do the other one down here with the ring box. And again, I'm just kind of creating some balance and some symmetry. Now, everything's peeking out, and as you're going, you're just gonna end up tucking things in, doing a little adjusting. These are my wax seals, copper, pink, a little gold, and again, I'm just kind of playing off the different elements and the different colors and the different tones. We're layering those in. I also have this really fun RSVP. And I'm going to put that, I think, down here. And again, as I'm looking at this, I want to make sure that this straight line is straight here as well. Now, in person, I feel like there's enough space, but as I'm looking through it above, it feels really tight. So always make sure that when you're looking through, you take those last couple seconds to look through with your lens and make sure there's enough space between each element. And the same thing with this dish and this piece of paper. I like to kind of peek as I'm going and do the spacing. Now with your invitation suites and stuff like that, you want to make sure that elements are touching and kissing. That is important to create that depth and dimension, but some elements you do want to make sure that you have enough space to let the items breathe. I'm going to add in an orange ring box, play off those fun colors. And again, I just picked pink because it's spring, it's something super fun, and the orange and pink do definitely go well together. Now, I would you know, if your bride hates pink, I would not do that. But the lid, some people don't use the lid. I love using the lid. I think it's a fun detail. And again, the ring box has a seam. This seam is here. I'm going to style it to the outside, and the same thing with the lid. It also has a seam. So I'm going to make sure that when I put this, that this seam is down so that when I take my shot, it's not in it. Just those kind of tiny little tips. When I put my rings in my ring box, I like to make sure that my engagement ring is on the top and the wedding band is on the bottom, just how the bride would wear her ring. That's just my personal preference. There's all sorts of different ways to do it. But again, just kind of balance and symmetry. The eye likes kind of the heaviest items at the top and then work your way down to the bottom. So the same thing with the ring sets. Now, this could be totally done, but I have these really cute, fun brass butterflies. Again, it's spring. I feel like orange fields outside, just something super cute and delicate. Now, I have 3 small ones and 1 large one. So I'm just kind of looking where I'm going to place them. And again, what I just said with the elements, you want your heaviest things towards the top and your smallest ones towards the bottom. So I feel like I might put the big one down here, and I'm going to have it just kind of nest, and I'm going to just kind of work it with the ribbon and the elements going up. Now is the time I'm going to, as I'm getting closer towards the end, I'm going to pull this in a little bit tighter. I try not to touch the ribbon too much because I feel like that's when I mess things up. I'm going to put one here, one over here. Sometimes it's also fun to layer it in on the invitation suite. And I feel like I have this little space right here and it's going to cover it and be perfect. Now, if there was verbiage there or part of the design, I probably wouldn't put an extra element on it. But since this is just plain white, I think it's going to be that perfect finishing detail. Amazing. Now, I also chose to have it hang over the edge, just kind of creating that depth and dimension. Now, the butterflies are kind of all going different ways, which I want. All right, now I'm going to take a couple seconds, check all the details, making sure that these lines are straight. Hopefully they're straight in the viewfinder. So I want this RSVP line, the invitation line, and my ring box lines. I want them all to be straight. That looks great. Now I have a diagonal line going up through, and that's what the eye likes. You're kind of creating dimension. You're telling a story. So we're starting with the ring box. We're going up with this beautiful piece of paper. We have the invite, which is the star of the show, and we're finishing off with the lightest element, the cascading ribbon. You have a beautiful, dreamy invitation suite, completely done. We're at 8 minutes and 58 seconds, publication worthy, and you're done. Thank you so much for following along. I'm Jamie, bringing you the latest tips and tricks for publication worthy details. Drop a comment below what you want me to style next week. Thank you so much. Hit that subscribe button to never miss another video. Have a great day.